Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Janelle, and if you are not, welcome back. Hi guys. Today's video I'm going to go ahead and talk about my birth story and how everything went down. It's not what we thought it was going to be, nothing we expected, but yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I am going to have my handy dandy laptop right next to me because I did create a script with everything and how everything went down. So let's start from the beginning. So I had thought I had 2 more weeks before meeting our baby. So starting on January 28th, that was my routine appointment, which was our weekly appointments. And that was at 4 p.m. During the day, I did feel a little like lightheaded. I was uncomfortable. I wasn't as hungry. Like I just felt off that day. And so when we got to the appointment, it just wasn't what we expected. And so at the appointment, we got there and I knew that something was probably going to be wrong, but not like to the point where we were going to give birth, you know? The nurses obviously do all the vital checks, and I noticed when she took my blood pressure, it was higher than usual. And throughout all my appointments, I didn't have any high blood pressures. I believe there was maybe a couple, which they did monitor, and everything turned out to be fine. I did eat like a very high sodium meal before the appointment, but other than that, everything was normal. And so having to go to that 38-week appointment and dealing with my blood pressure being so high, I believe it was like 170. Yeah, and that was the highest it's ever been. The previous time when it was high, it was at 140, and my normal was like 120, 118 throughout the entire pregnancy until obviously the 38-week mark. When my doctor came in, he came in and he said, he smiled at me like it was holly jolly, and I was like, okay. So at the 38-week appointment, they normally do a membrane sweep, and I denied that. When he came in, he sat down, he goes, hi guys, how's it going? Do you guys know what today is? And in my brain, I'm like, I said no to the membrane sweep, so why are you saying that? And he goes, well, it's time to have a baby. And me and Dominic looked at each other like, what do you mean? Why? It was just not what we expected. So when the doctor said that it was time to have our baby, Dom and I definitely freaked out. We didn't know what to do. We weren't packed. Our cars weren't prepared because we thought we had 2 more weeks. You know, I wanted to continue to full term. I wanted to go all the way to the 40. And if it went past the 40, then I would definitely be induced. But that was not the plan. Of course not. Giovanna was like, no girl, get me out of here. I'm baked as much as I could be. So our doctor tells us that he's going to call a hospital. He's going to let them know that we're on our way. And we were like, okay, all right, it's time to have the baby. There's nothing we can do. I'm not going to tell the doctors no, and I don't want to put Giovanna at risk if this is what the doctor is telling me. And my blood pressure was extremely high, so of course we don't want her to get hurt or have any complications. So we were like, okay, let's go. Okay, so once Dom and I got into the car, we had called our moms. I started with calling my mom first and letting her know that we are going to be induced tonight. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And I was like, it's time. Giovanna does not want to wait. It's time. We got to go. I was telling her we're heading home. We've got to pack our bags. We've got to put the car seat in the car. We've got to do all these things in a span of an hour and a half, which is okay because we live about 5 to 10 minutes away from the hospital that we were giving birth at. So that was a plus. After we called my mom, we called his mom. She didn't pick up the first time. And so we called again, and we were like, okay, we're having the baby. And I think she was a little confused at what was going on, but eventually figured it out. She only lives 15 minutes away from us, which is perfect. My parents live about 25 to 30 minutes away from me. And so my mother-in-law was so amazing. She got home and she came by to help us like pack all our stuff. Like, I didn't have my hospital bag packed. I didn't have her hospital bag packed. Neither did we have Dom's hospital bag packed. And the day before, we literally went grocery shopping. So we had like a ton of food that we had to meal prep. So it was just like, it was complete chaos, guys, complete chaos. So during this whole process, we contacted my sister. I texted her, hey, the baby is coming, or not the baby is coming, but I'm being induced and we'll be at the hospital if anything. Called my grandmother because I needed her prayers. I needed her to calm me down because I couldn't get my blood pressure any higher than it already was. So I had to stay calm. I had to stay collected. And so I called my grandma. Thank God she answered. I mean, it was 6 p.m. by now. And back home in Guam, I believe it was like 11 or 12 p.m. So yeah, I call my grandma. She tells me it's okay. She lights a candle. She tells me just breathe, and by the end of it, the baby will be here. So I'm beyond grateful to have my grandma. Now we're at the hospital. So we get checked in to the front office and we tell them that we were told by our doctor to head to the hospital and to get a room. So we get there around 6:30, 6:45, and we tell them we gotta be induced, and that's it. So this hospital has a very small labor and delivery area plus postpartum, which was really tough because yes, we got there at 6:30, but they had no rooms available in labor and delivery and in postpartum. They were using their triage area to hold a couple of mothers who came in with probably the same thing as me or who were ready to give birth. And they had to keep them in the triage until rooms started clearing. Mind you, we got there at 6:30. We did not get a room till 11. Yes, 11 p.m., guys. 6:30 to 11 p.m. And we couldn't leave the hospital. They wanted us to stay there in case a room did come up, then we would be the next people in line. It was like a first come, first serve kind of thing. First come, first serve, based on your illness, based on the extreme reasons. I don't know. That's all they told us. So there was about 4 people waiting with us, but we were the first ones in there. But we had one lady who was like already about to pop. Another lady came in with the same issue as me, like high blood pressure. A younger girl, she was there because she was having headaches and she was projectile vomiting. So it was just like, it was complete chaos. And I did not expect to deliver at 38 weeks. I did not expect to wait at a hospital for about 5 hours just to get a room and to be ready to be induced and everything. So yeah, it was chaos, and bless our parents' hearts, well, our moms. So both our moms had stayed downstairs in the waiting room with us until maybe 10:30. Yeah, it was nuts. Once we got that room at around 11, 11:15, 11:30, I don't know, it was 11 p.m. I know that it was 11 p.m. They hooked me up, IV. They gave me, what is this thing called? A medication called misoprostol. I might be saying that wrong, but it's a little pill that goes into the cervix every like 4 hours to kind of help initiate the labor. So now then we waited. It was 11:30. They put the pill in me, and then we waited. I could not sleep. I was not hungry. Like I was so nervous. I wasn't scared. I was just nervous. Now, the next day, January 29th, the pill wasn't doing crap. Let's just say that. It wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't moving far along. Like, it was just like going as slow as possible. In my head, I'm like, girl, my high blood pressure went up because you want to get out here. Now that we gave something to kind of speed up the process, it's not working. So what doctors had to do was they had to just continue with the process. So they told me about this balloon catheter that goes into the cervix and kind of helps spread the cervix in order to be dilated. So They broke my water. Then they added the balloon catheter, and within maybe a few hours go by, I'm 5 to 6 centimeters, which was perfect. That's what they wanted. They wanted at least for me to get dilated as soon as possible because I'm gonna be in the longest labor of my life. But no, it wasn't that crazy. Relax. 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 Calm. Sensei. Our neighbors like to slam their doors, and so she gets a little scared. She's a little weenie, but she gets a little scared, and so she starts growling and starts barking. But anyways, so now that we're at 5 to 6 centimeters, they pop in the drugs. They said, Pitocin, let's go get these contractions working, and it worked. It definitely worked. I'm gonna go ahead and put a clip of what I sounded like. I still to this day have not watched any of them, so Janelle, I am so sorry that you have to watch this and hear what you went through, what G put you through just to get her out. But right here is going to be a clip. Yeah. Anyways, so the Pitocin starts kicking in and they are getting stronger, intense. Okay, off script, on my period, I don't get cramps. I don't know what a cramp feels like. I don't know how long they last. Like, I have no idea. And feeling those contractions and hearing stories of like friends or family members who have the worst cramps during their periods, I give you guys mother frickin' props because I thought I was tough. I thought I could handle it, but I've never felt a cramp in my life. A muscle cramp, that did not feel like a muscle cramp. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't cuss one bit though. Thank you, Jesus. But I was screaming for the Lord. I was, Lord, oh Jesus, oh God. I was crying. It was painful. And that was just at 5 to 6 centimeters. And so I couldn't believe it. I was like, Janelle, you are not as strong as you think you are, girl. You could not handle it. Now let's talk about my man. We love him. We love Dominic. I love Dominic. Cannot I can't even like thank him for being by my side through all of that. Like, it was the most toughest, brutal, very vulnerable thing for him to see. Like, I felt so loved and so protected and so supported during all of that. He helped me breathe. He massaged me. He was encouraging me to stand and walk and move. He helped me to the bathroom, and it was just like, I've never felt so pampered in my life. But he was a miracle worker. He really, 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 really guided me through that entire process, and I couldn't thank him enough. I love you so much. I don't know if you watch my vlogs, but if you do, I love you so much. You are the best person in my life and have always been the best person in my life since we met in 2019. And I'm beyond grateful that you are my daughters. Well, I'm sorry, our daughters. All right. So during all that drama of me screaming bloody murder, I thought I was gonna try to do an unmedicated birth. I did my best, I tried, but let's be honest, y'all, I could not do it. I would have started cursing around 8 centimeters, to be honest. So I did get the epidural, and thank you for whoever created that beautiful thing. Yes, the needle is extremely crazy and the way you have to put it in, but the feeling after, I felt so relieved. I felt so calm. I was ready to sleep. I was laughing. I was chatting it up with my family. And so yeah, and then after the epidural, they put this peanut ball in between my legs to keep the dilation keep going, yeah. So I did the turning, all that, whatever. And so that definitely helped. Because a few hours later, or maybe an hour later, nurse came back, checked in. I was 9.5 centimeters, and we were ready to roll. Although we did not push on January 29th, We wanted to go all the way to 10 centimeters, so we continued to wait. But then the contractions started. I started feeling them again. Started feeling them. The epidural was slowly wearing off by the time it was already 11. And we wanted her to have her own day. We have a few people in our family who were born on January 29th. And so we were like, as much as it would be special to have the same birthday as somebody, we wanted her to not have the same birthday as somebody. So I held it. I held her, holding my breath, just taking in those contractions, having my support system, Dominic, right next to me, breathing me through them, or breathing with me through them, and us counting down the time. We were counting down the minutes until it hit January 30th. I'm over here holding for dear life, feeling those contractions, and then I started getting a fever. But we did make it. I got a fever, but which affected beautiful baby girl. She also felt that fever. So it was time to push. Once it hit 12:45, we were like, let's go. Time to get going. So we started pushing. I was so tired. I should have took a nap during my epidural, but I didn't, because I was just embracing my family, being there, chatting with them, laughing with them, and just, I guess, mentally preparing of what was going to happen next. Hey guys, editing Janelle here with baby G trying to sleep. But I'm trying to finish editing this video so I can post it this week. And so I didn't mention who was there at labor and delivery. My mom got there first because she got off early and was like, yeah, I'm leaving, peace out, I gotta go check my daughter, she's about to give birth. And then my mother-in-law and father-in-law came in. My father-in-law had driven from up north California to come and be a part of the celebration and see baby G. And then my sister came a little later, like closer to when I was like ready to start pushing. So yes, my mom, my mother-in-law, because I definitely wanted her to be there. She doesn't have any daughters, and so she wouldn't have been able to experience this, I don't know, thing that she has done, and I'm so glad that she was there for it. But yeah, I am beyond grateful for the support system that I did have. My mom, Teresa, my mother-in-law, Christina, my sister, Jenna, and my father-in-law, Brian. Thank you guys so much. You guys definitely were helpful, and I'm sorry if I was a bitch to you guys during that process and telling you guys to stay out of the room, but needed to breathe for a little bit, and then you guys came and enjoyed the experience with me. And then I also want to thank both our moms on getting us food, all the parents, and my sister consoling Dominic during this entire process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I will let you get back to the video. I pushed for about 40 minutes, and at 1:26, baby girl had arrived. She was hot like a potato. Like, I'm talking, she was scorching hot, and that was because I had my fever. And so yeah, I was losing my mind. We did not expect to give birth in January, but we did. She was due February 10th, and she was born January 30th, 2026 at 1:26 a.m. And she was 5 pounds and she was about 18 inches. She was a little bitty baby. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of her. This was her straight out the womb. But yeah, that is our birth story. It wasn't what we expected. We were filled with chaos. I want to thank my mother-in-law and father-in-law who helped us take care of our apartment while we were in the hospital. We were in the hospital for about 3 days just because of how small she was, and I was also taking antibiotics because of the fever, just making sure everything was good. But they came by, walked Pepper, took care of Pepper. So yeah, she was born on January 30th, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I enjoyed the time we were in the hospital. Like, the nurses were amazing. Like, I can't I can't thank anybody enough. Like it was really great, and the amount of support that we had by our sides when we were pregnant and after, now that she is about to be 3 months, like it's so surreal that I'm a mom. Like it's crazy. I still can't believe it sometimes. I wake up and I'm like, I have a whole human being I'm taking care of. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy story time. And hopefully I do more of these. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I'll talk about her 6 month review. I don't know. Who knows? So yeah, I am so grateful that you guys were here, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.